Hello, everyone. Just gonna. This is all about amped and getting amped for the White Widow universe, and obviously, the topic today is going to be about project called Amped and how it relates to the White Widow universe, the absolute universe, as it's more appropriately called. I'm just going to wait just a few minutes here, or a few seconds here and stuff, let people start to filter in. Yeah, today we're going to be talking, or this morning, we're going to be talking about, like I said, Amped, White Widow, as well as I Make Boys Cry. As we've been saying through a lot of these series, these are all books that are part of the absolute universe. We're going to show some sneak peeks on some stuff. Also, I want to give everyone kind of a little bit of background on some of the characters and stuff, some insight. First off, project is called Amped. Like I said, it's created by me. Beginning with issue 2, which is coming out here shortly. It's literally at the printer. I co-wrote that with Brian Augustine, and then beginning with issue 3, I will be writing that solo moving forward. The art is still by Pasquale Quilano, who is an amazing Italian artist. He's done, well, here I'll kind of show you guys. Just a phenomenal job on the artwork. Issue 1 came out and instantly sold out. It was for everything that we had to do. Everything we did send to Diamond. We did get a little bit of resupply, so if your local comic book store doesn't have it, you can ask them to order that for you. We got our supply in, but those are running out as well. And I'll talk about those for the number 1s. Number 2s, the sales were really good. So I'm very thankful that you guys seem to be liking this series and supporting it. And sorry to repeat myself, but yes, this is part of the White Widow universe. So we'll begin to see some crossovers and things like that happen. We've got a massive event planned down the line that we hinted at in First Defense. So if you missed that video yesterday, that live stream where I was talking with the co-writer on that series, take it and check that out. For this book, what it is about, if you hadn't seen it, kind of shows a bit on the cover. These are a group of teenagers who were selected to take part in something called Project Amped. Project Amped is an acronym, AMPED. It stands for Android Mankind Paired Ego Downlink. So it's a specific type of technology that's used to sync your mind wirelessly with that of an Android that pairs the two of you up. And the purpose of it by the creator was to give people who have mobility issues the ability to have the mobility to get around. Of course, to fund something like that, you need government funding. So that's why there's armament, or at least that's what they say. There's going to be a lot of secrets. There's a lot of things hidden that are be coming up. The creator is a guy named Vamaro Kane. There's a little Easter egg in that. I'll let you guys kind of see what's going on there. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and they're incredibly powerful. As soon as they come out, though, they immediately and they reveal this technology, they were immediately attacked in the first issue by some mercenaries and giant robots and things like that. So there's another guy we've seen out there named Dr. Lazarus, who is trying to abscond from with this technology. So issue 2 is mostly action. So it's we like to do action, but the way we do action is we make sure that the action serves a purpose as well. So not only is it eye candy, but it's going to kind of illustrate exactly what each one of these android bodies is capable of, as well as their personalities a bit. And we'll begin to learn more and more about these characters. As far as their place in the White Widow universe, give a little Easter egg that Vomero Kane is directly related to several titles. He himself is related to Dual Identity, to I Make Boys Cry, and therefore to White Widow and the Wayward Sons and Wayward Legends cast. And we already have with First Defense some ideas for things we're going to be doing, crossing over in the future to bring that full circle. So yeah, we've got quite a lot brewing, and this is going to become a very central book. It is. We supported this issue with numerous covers. Now, for those who haven't seen, these are available on our DragonCon page. I will post here in the comments. This is available on DragonCon right now at our booth, along with all the rest of the Absolute stuff, as well as we've got DragonCon exclusive covers and things like that. But this is the A cover. This is the retailer cover. Retailers sold out of this everywhere. We did resupply diamonds, so they can, retailers, if you're watching, you can reorder. This, however, is the blue sketch cover. It's a little bit harder to see, but it's foil. We only did 500 of these, and Diamond got a large amount of those. Those sold out. So we only have a small amount of these left. Go ahead, by the way, ask if you want to ask questions and stuff. Feel free to ask questions as we're talking in the comments. I figured out, I'm still learning this live stream stuff, so I figured out how to see those questions, show them up on screen, and I'll answer as we get to that. This next one was the White Widow. In order to illustrate the that this is part of the White Widow universe, we did this series with Jamie Tyndall, where we called it the White Widow variant, and you can kind of see White Widows sneaking around in back. Then we did have one retailer who did an exclusive, and he got Genzo Man to do the cover, and I'm actually a little envious because he came up with this idea, the retailer, and I didn't. He did an homage to Giant Size #1 as both a trade and a foil version. So these are available. We have a few. Those are from my personal collection. So we did make those available for DragonCon. We have those. We've got AMPED #2. Like I said, is at the printer, along with all of the rest of the Giant Size line. I mean, not Giant Size. Sorry, Absolute Comics Universe line. I'm pulling up the covers for those now. So issue, here is the main cover. Hold on, I don't know why it's very fit on screen. Sorry about that. So we've got the main cover on this we had by Ronaldson Frieri, who is the cover artist for the interior artist for I Make Boys Cry, and he did an amazing job. This is a standard. This will be available to retailers, and then to mark the launch of I Make Boys Cry, we had an I Make Boys Cry variant by Crease Art, Creees Art is what he goes by, and this will be a red foil logo on that. And like how we did with the White Widow hidden variants, this has a little slice hanging out in the background. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm going to show you guys here in a second the issue 3 covers, and as well as the some of the interiors to give you an idea on the artwork on that. We've got, I'll show you just some colors with some amazing, so just some of the amazing artwork. Here we go. So there you go. This is just kind of gives you a nice perspective. This is a double page spread. We've got some amazing artwork. This is a full page splash page of the characters in action. So, like I said, this is a very action-packed issue, and we're going up to 24 pages now, and this is going to be, by the way, across the board. We're transitioning. I think there might be a few that still have 20 pages that were already done, but as we've switched to a new printer, rather than just 20 pages as the minimum, 24 is, and we'd rather give more content for your buck. So whereas a lot of comics are 20 page these days, we just wanted to do an extra 20%. So I've got someone here asking, hello Jill, glad you follow us as well. Got Andy, how are you feeling after getting sick? Well, for those who had heard the announcement, yes, in July, I got the fun COVID. So was from a family member, an extended family member, who works in a high risk area. It did slow us down a bit. We wanted all these books out at the end of July, but I immediately had to quarantine. It was not a lot of fun. I can tell you guys that having gone through this, it does have lasting repercussions. So I'm not at 100%, but I'm doing my best, and every day, hopefully, just getting better. We have added 2 new personnel in addition to Jenna, who was working with me primarily on production. As the head of production, she's actually head of operations. We now have Newman and Delaney, and they're working out tremendously. Will likely be bringing on a lot more staff because we are wanting to become more consistent and do monthly on our schedule. So these, bear with us as we build up to this, but we do want to be very consistent. So bi-monthly, sorry, on AMPED. And we are, as we've already said, we do want to go monthly on the schedule for some of our other books. We will be doing Kickstarters, but we're going to do more combined Kickstarters on some, or very short ones. So, for instance, on this absolute line and stuff for AMPED, we will be doing that. So, bringing in more help, kind of in a way, it's maybe a blessing in disguise. The sickness kind of forced that issue for us to try and get caught back up. So thanks for your concern on that. Now for the characters, we have several characters. Like I said, there are 6 characters. These are teens. And each one of them has their own challenge that they're facing. But one of the fun things for us is, I was always a fan of, for instance, Daredevil. There was a character who, frankly, he was dealing with being blind, yet he overcame that to be this massively powerful superhero. I've always liked that. I've always liked people overcoming obstacles and stuff, and being a bit outside of themselves. Fantasy, to a large extent, is it is escapism, and at the same time, AMPED as a project was always near and dear to my heart, because I myself have had mobility issues, but also, more importantly, growing up, my father fell 3 stories off the side of a building when his safety belt broke, and landed on both of his feet, and it literally powdered every bone in both of his feet and lower legs, and hurt his back and everything. Doctors told him he'd never walk. One doctor told him he might be able to walk with a walker, and he literally defied them all, and through sheer force of will, he walked. So, but I watched how, like, literally every step, every day for him, he explained it was like walking on broken glass. He had them fused together, all the bones with metal and stuff. So I saw kind of firsthand what mobility challenges were like then. And then whenever I had my car accident in 99, it ruptured multiple discs in my back and caused me to, again, deal with lifelong pain. In January of this year, it was a little over 10 years. I was dealing with that. The doctors finally, they now had laser surgery and stuff, whereas before there was always worry about when the doctor said initially that it was almost 50% chance of paralysis from surgery. I said, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll just deal with the pain. I'm not going to coin flip. So, but now they've progressed, and the surgery, they can use lasers and things like that. So I did have my surgery because it had progressed to such a degree that my discs were bulging as much as that in my back. The doctor literally said it was the worst he'd ever seen, and he was like flummoxed that I wasn't screaming nonstop, and let alone being able to walk. But when you have an example like I did with my father, who could walk on pulverized feet, it's hard for me to complain. So, um, so that's kind of where the impetus for this series came from. And obviously, I wanted why teenagers? Well, because what we explain in the book is, I feel like teenagers have the most potential and promise. They're not jaded, they're hopeful, but more importantly, in for the science of it, was that their minds were more open and still developing and able to accept the technology. So for the downlink. But it'll be interesting because you have a diverse group of characters here some of whom are more, have had more mobility than others. Every single one of them has a different mobility issue that they face. I'm going to come up here. We've got one of the characters is Charge. It's David Robbins. He has ALS. Think along the lines of, for instance, Richard Hawkins. But he has a far more advanced form of it. So at a much younger age, he's already paralyzed from the neck down. But he has a brilliant mind. So his powers are interesting. He has the ability to absorb and store, as well as redirect, massive amounts of electricity. So this can make him incredibly powerful, or if he depletes his entire charge, incredibly vulnerable. So, which again, I like to have those kinds of pros and cons. Radia is another character. It was an unfortunate instance where she got into an accident, lost her mom, and she was triple amputee. Lost both of her legs as well as one of her arms, the arm that she primarily used, and yet through sheer force of will, she's taught herself to. She's an artist, a young budding artist. She's taught herself to do artwork with the other. I like to have artists as an example for this, because she's got the ability to create solid light constructs, and it's kind of limited by her imagination to a degree as to what forms those take. So I thought it would be awesome to have someone who has that kind of imagination that she can draw upon. Another character is Catherine Price, aka Snipe. This one, she has the ability. Well, she was born with an advanced form of dwarfism. Not a lot of people realize that dwarfism can be debilitating physically. It's not just that you're small in stature, but the bones painfully twist as they grow, because they grow incorrectly. And Vomaro Kane is also suffers from dwarfism, so he felt it was a special case here. Now, this character happens to also be a bit inspired by one of my daughters, who's also named Catherine, the same spelling. So her look and everything is a little bit based on that. Her powers are really, I think, very unique. She has the ability to absorb and reconstitute matter into ammunition that she fires. So basically, her internal mechanisms act as kind of almost a chemistry set. And she can create ordnance, but she has to use matter that's around her. So that's to me, that's the kind of thing that's a lot of fun. Speaking of, we've also have Tempo, aka Kaito Takanawa, young Japanese kid. Again, this is another one based on my son, my oldest son. His name is Kaito as well. My ex-wife is Japanese, um, so he is named after my son and patterned a little bit. He had a degenerative spinal disease called spinal stenosis, cervical spinal stenosis. Again, but when he was younger, he liked to run. So what was he has that passion. So what's kind of fun here with this character is he has a super speedster. He can run up to Mach 2 in speed, as well as Mach 10. Sorry, as well as process that information, because if you ran that fast, if you didn't have the ability to cognitively process that, you would just slam into walls. But I always loved super speed, but he won't be phasing through walls or silly stuff like that. I do try and make the science in our comics fairly grounded. Then we've got the character Allure. Allure is a bit of a unique character in her powers and stuff, but she has spina bifida, which is another terrible disease and stuff that part of this we do like to educate people on. She has trouble, with certain things, such as math, similar to most people who suffer with this. But she's very pretty young girl, and yet she's kind of trapped in this degenerative form. I wanted to give something a bit unique in that she has a kind of an electromagnetic based powers, but I didn't want it to be like Magneto. Instead, what she does is she uses that she has a very baseline ability to kind of be empathic, because she can read the electrical synapses of people's minds, as well as being able to be to read and control mechanical. So it's I think they call that mechanical telepathy or something like that. I've seen some things on that, but basically, if it's a machine, she can control it, and at the same time, she does have the ability to fly, because she can manipulate her own metallic body and create force fields, to a degree that can repel things. So she is a very fun and diverse character with a unique power set. And then lastly, we've got the big strong guy, Victor. That's his name. He was the big jock in school and stuff, who is now their de facto reluctant leader. So I like to make usually the strong guy isn't the leader unless it's Superman, but usually the strong guy is like just the stupid muscle on the team. So I do try to do things that are a little bit different. And Victor's a former football player, but he had a good head on his shoulders, a good heart. And when he was in an accident while playing football, it seemed like he lost his entire world. So now he's in this android body that is immensely strong. The upper limits, it is over 50, ability to lift over 50 tons, which is incredibly strong. It's not Hulk strong, but we're not necessarily going for that. So those are the characters. I think it's a diverse group, and it's a very fun team that we've assembled. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in. Like I said, but where this fits in to the White Widow universe is obviously, if you've noticed, there is a bit of a running theme of technology, that the technology and science and things like that throughout. We so the tech that supports the group, some of it comes from Vamaro Kane, who's a brilliant inventor. Um, Same for I Make Boys Cry. So you can see, like, when it comes to like armors and things like that, where there's some certainly some crossover. It's about how it's used and what we do with it. This is a little interesting because it is centered around teens, whereas both it and First Defense have younger characters, and the rest of ours are more adults. But these are teens that had to grow up quite fast. When you face challenges, you tend to have to grow, and these kids are. I think they show that the biggest thing that makes someone a hero is their heart. So I love this series. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Like I said, they are available on our Dragon Con site, including the variants that are not we're typically not available to sell because they are out of my collection. So feel free to take it. If you go to our product page, you simply click over onto the category White Widow Universe titles, and you can see it there to pick it up. You can also get them digitally on our web store, and issue 2s are on their way. So we were already issue 3s will be coming out here shortly. In January, excuse me. So there is a little bit of a delay between issue 2 and issue 3, but I just got. Where is it? Can give you guys a sneak peek of the cover that Quilano turned in. I think it was a little over a week ago, and this is being painted right now. Let's see, here we go. So gives you a little bit of a hint as to what's going on. And once again, Quilano hits it out of the park. He is such an amazing artist. We're very blessed to have such good art teams on all of these books. But I appreciate you guys all stopping in. Hopefully you can see that how this fits in with the White Widow universe and what we're building. I'm looking forward to, as they begin to cross over and in some instances team up. By the way, I should also mention there is another book we did that was a crazy book called Markiplier. Some of you may be familiar with Markiplier, the YouTube star. He is one of the shareholders in the company, and we did a 4-part miniseries. We did the first 2, but because of some things that went on, there's been a delay. Issue 3 is on its way to the printer, and issue 4, the final pages are wrapping up. And AMPED and White Widow both cross over. the story from the Markiplier series, which the first two are available in a bundle on our site, is that he gets a watch in the mail, doesn't read the instructions, pushes a button on it, and immediately falls through a dimensional portal into the world of our comics. And so he's bouncing around trying to get back home. So in issue 4, in issue 1, he meets up with Darkon and then Wayward Sons. Issue 2, he meets up with several other people, including the dual identity character. Issue 3, it's Pandora's Blogs, which is in our Absolute Flip book, as well as Monster Isle, which is also in our flip book, and then as well as some others. And then issue 4, it rounds out with him meeting First Defense and finishes off with him meeting AMPED. And the pages look absolutely stunning on all of that. So it's a lot of fun. It's funny, as you would expect. So feel free to pick those up, check those out. Just know that the series will be ending here soon, and it does, again, create a crossover between all of these different characters. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about this, and I'll see you guys soon. Remember that at 2 o'clock we do have a dual identity panel where I'll be talking about it with Jenna Powell, who together she and I will be taking over the writing beginning issue 3, and some big announcements on that. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.